The rain had been falling since evening, soft at first, then heavier, like the city itself was slowly giving in to tiredness. Streetlights blurred into long golden lines on the wet road. Inside the car, everything was calm, too calm. Aisha held the steering wheel gently, as if it could feel her touch. Her eyes stayed on the road, alert but distant, like she was driving through memory instead of streets. The radio played an old romantic song at very low volume, almost a whisper. "Some people enter your life like a destination," she said quietly, almost to herself, "and leave like a detour you never forget." Arjun, sitting in the back seat, looked up from his phone. He hadn't expected her to speak. Most drivers didn't. He watched her through the rearview mirror. There was something steady about her, something lonely. "Sorry," he asked. She realized she had spoken out loud. A small, embarrassed smile crossed her face. Nothing, just thinking. He nodded, though curiosity stayed in his eyes. The cab moved smoothly through traffic. Outside, people hurried under umbrellas, chasing buses, chasing time. Inside the car, time felt slower. Arjun leaned back, exhaling. His shoulders finally dropped, like he had been carrying something heavy all day, maybe longer than a day. "You drive at night?" he asked after a moment. "Doesn't it get scary?" Aisha thought for a second. "Only the silence," she said. "That's why I keep the radio on, low but not off." He smiled faintly. "Makes sense." They drove in silence again, but it wasn't uncomfortable. It felt natural, like a pause in a conversation that hadn't fully started yet. At a red light, Aisha stopped the car. Rain tapped gently on the roof. "You seem peaceful," Arjun said suddenly. "Most people I meet are always rushing, angry, tired." Aisha looked at the signal, still red. "I'm tired too," she said honestly. "But when I'm driving, life feels simple. There's a road, a direction, and a wheel in my hands. No one else decides for me." The light turned green. She pressed the accelerator. Arjun watched her again through the mirror. "So you like being in control?" She smiled a little sadly. "I like pretending I am." He didn't laugh. He understood that feeling more than he wanted to admit. They passed a small tea stall, lights glowing warmly. A group of friends stood laughing under a plastic sheet, sharing jokes, sharing warmth. "Long day?" Aisha asked. "Long life," Arjun replied before he could stop himself. She glanced at him briefly in the mirror. "That bad?" He hesitated, then shrugged. Just one of those moments where you realize you're exactly where you never wanted to be. Her fingers tightened slightly on the wheel. "Yeah," she said softly, "I know that road." He looked surprised. "Really?" "My mother wanted me to be married by 23, she said calmly. "My relatives wanted me to stop working. They said driving was not respectable for a woman, but I chose this, or maybe I chose not to choose anything else." Arjun smiled. "Sounds like you're braver than most." Aisha shook her head. "Brave people don't feel scared all the time." They reached another signal. It turned red again, as if the city wanted to give them more time. Arjun's phone buzzed. He checked it absent-mindedly, then frowned. Another message he didn't want to answer. He locked the screen and put the phone away. Aisha's phone, mounted near the dashboard, lit up with a notification. She didn't look at it immediately, but Arjun did. He hadn't meant to, it just caught his eye. "Wedding tomorrow," the message preview read. Something shifted in his expression. His chest tightened for reasons he didn't fully understand. "Wedding tomorrow," he repeated before he could stop himself. Aisha froze for half a second, just half, but it was enough. She forced a calm tone. "Just a family thing." "Oh," he said. He leaned back, the warmth between them cooling. "Congratulations, I guess." She didn't reply. The signal turned green. The car moved forward. Arjun stared out the window now. The city lights felt harsher, brighter, less gentle. He let out a small, bitter laugh. "Funny," he said. "I forgot drivers don't really have stories, just routes." Her jaw tightened. The words hit harder than he intended. She kept driving. Silence filled the space again, but this time it was heavy. Rain grew louder. In her mind, memories rushed in. Her mother folding wedding clothes, her aunt's voice asking, "When is it your turn?" Her own voice quiet saying, "Soon," even when she didn't mean it. They were close to his destination now. Arjun checked the map on his phone. Just ahead, he said, his voice distant. The car slowed. Aisha parked near a quiet building. The rain had eased, turning into a light drizzle. Arjun reached for the door handle, then stopped. Aisha spoke suddenly, her voice trembling just enough to be real. "It's my sister's wedding." He paused. She continued, words spilling out like she had been holding them too long. "I wrote wedding because my mother keeps hoping I'll stop driving and start living someone else's dream." Arjun turned back slowly. "I've never chosen love," she said, eyes still on the road. "I've only driven past it." The silence that followed was different, softer, honest. Arjun swallowed. "I'm sorry," he said. "I shouldn't have assumed." She nodded. "People always do." He studied her face now, really seeing her, not just a driver, not just a stranger. "You know," he said, "I booked this cab because I didn't want to think anymore, about my job, about my life, about how everything feels decided already." She looked at him then, just for a moment, and somehow, he said, "this ride made me feel like maybe not everything is fixed." Her lips curved into a small smile. Rain slowed further, the street felt quieter. He opened the door, then hesitated again. "Do you ever take breaks?" he asked. "From driving. From running." She thought about it. "Not really." He smiled gently. "Then maybe don't end the ride yet." She raised an eyebrow. "Where to?" "Anywhere," he said, "as long as you're driving." Her heart skipped, surprised by her own reaction. She looked at the road ahead, then at the meter, then at him. "Okay," she said softly. She turned the key again. The engine hummed like a promise. They drove without a destination, the city opening itself to them, past empty parks, closed shops, quiet bridges. They talked about small things at first, favorite songs, worst childhood memories, dreams they never said out loud. Arjun told her about quitting a job he hated but never telling his family. Aisha told him about learning to drive at dawn, when roads were empty and dreams felt possible. At some point, she parked near a river. The water reflected the city lights like broken stars. They sat there, windows slightly open, cool air rushing in. "Thank you," Arjun said, "for not treating me like just another passenger." She smiled. "Thank you for seeing me as more than just a driver." Their eyes met, the moment stretched, no rush, no fear. Sometimes love doesn't arrive loudly. Sometimes it just sits beside you, quietly, waiting for you to notice. Aisha finally spoke. "I don't know where this road leads." Arjun smiled. "That's okay, we can figure it out one turn at a time." She nodded. The car stayed still, but something inside her had started moving. And for the first time, she didn't feel like driving past love anymore.